Alright guys, this is an update for, I think I'm just going to name it Nuclear Perks, Overhaul or something, I don't know. Anyway, to give you guys an idea, this is a character that I got sitting here. She only got level 1 on Strength, which is what I need to show this off. And of course I gave her like a good billion experience, so that's going to keep going up forever, like 61 levels worth. Alright, so all I did so far was I modified two things, Iron Fist and Strength Training. And I did this for a test, and I was making sure everything worked. So basically what I'm doing is I'm revamping how strength training works. So if you look, the first two perks are just add strength like normal. The next one adds 5 hit points per minute. As far as regen goes, plus 2% damage with all weapon types, plus 1% critical global hit chance. The next one adds 1 strength, but requires 2 or more points spent in the strength tree. The next one is 1 strength, but requires 4 or more points spent in the strength tree. The next one is 10 hit points, 15 carry weight, 3% damage increase, 1% overall damage reductions. Requires 6 or more points spent in the strength tree. And the next one is plus 1 strength, requires 8. Next one is 15 hit point, 1% more damage reduction, greatly reduce incoming stagger amount, requires 12 points spent in the strength tree. And the next one is plus 1 strength, 2% global critical, 2% global move speed, 1% more damage reduction, 2% damage increase, requires 15 points spent in the strength tree. Now, it doesn't show you here, but there's actually 3 more points because these stars don't fill in right when you do the ones that don't have strength on them. It's a scripting issue I can't fix till we get to scripting, but it kind of worked because it allowed me to add 2 more strength points, which actually kick up, which you're not going to see here. They kick in at level 5. Actually, it's 3 more strength points. I'm sorry. It kicks in at level 50, level 65, and level 80, giving you, like, you know, if you want to actually just put those extra strength points in. And so let's show you why this happens. Strength training. You get the 5 hit points, blah, blah, blah. And now I can't do it. Requirements not met because you need 2 points spent in the tree. None of the rest of them work yet because I don't have them. I'm going down one at a time and just changing an entire perk overhaul. So this will take a while as there are 70 something of them, and the hardest ones are these top ones. Once these top ones are modified, it becomes a little bit easier to just start going through. So Iron Fist used to be 20%, now it's down to 15. The second one adds 1 strength because you'll be punching. See, the kick is this top thing doesn't give you as much strength. What's going to happen is when you're doing things like Big Leagues is going to have strength in it. Big Leagues will actually have a second strength bonus for when you're holding a melee weapon. Armor is actually going to have an endurance bonus inside of it. Blacksmith will have another strength bonus at rank 3, and then rank 4 will be the armor smith, whatever. Heavy Gunner is whatever. I'll figure Heavy Gunner out. Steady aim, I think I entirely trashed because I'm adding aim perks into the weapon modifications themselves. Rooted's a fun one. I actually have, I think, 6 perks written down for it. Rooted is at the max level, you're going to gain plus 1 to all base stats and plus like 50 hit points and 50 damage reduction or whatever the hell it is. And any enemies that hit you can take a bleed effect. But when you're moving, you gain 25% damage increase taken, and you lose -2 to all of your stats while you're moving. It's just kind of fun. And Pain Train, I'm kind of changing some shit up for the armor as well. So go back to, let me show you that, you know, prove this works. So yeah, I can't, requirements not met, Iron Fist, bam. Next one requires 4 or more, can't do it. And then I'm going to get locked out here too as well because this is part of the fun thing. Now it requires level 25 strength 7. Well, you can't get strength of 7. You've got a friggin' you got a strength of 5 right now. And that's why I'm kind of playing with it, which means you're going to have to you have to go into armor, you're going to have to go to blacksmith, and quite frankly, some of these are going to increase strength. Toughness at a higher rank will increase strength as well. Just crap like that. I'm going to do it. I think intelligence might have intelligence. I might do one that increases 1 stat at the cost of another type of a deal down here somewhere because we don't need all these in what they're in. Yeah, and agility I'm pretty sure is going to have a plus 1 strength in it as well when I get to it. Just makes sense. Luck, I'm thinking of changing one of these around to basically just be a plus 1 to each stat as you level it up. So anyway, let's do the punching attack. This is kind of how I change it. Okay, so 15% I obviously lowered rank 1. Iron level 2 is 1 strength, 20%. So you're only getting a 5% more damage bonus, but you're getting 1 strength. 35% unarmed power attacks have a chance to cripple. 60% more damage, 20% in chance to inflict damage over time for enemies hit, increases unarmed limb damage. So you'll just basically just be punching their limbs off. The fifth one is 1 strength, 80% more damage from punching attacks, negative 20% damage dealt with any weapons. Criticals and VATs will now can paralyze opponents. And see, that's your drawback right there, the last 2 traits. And this one does even more. Double damage with unarmed, 10% chance to paralyze on any unarmed attack, plus 5% critical strike chance. That is global. I decided not to link it. No, I did link it. Never mind. It's not global. Ignore that. It is linked to the unarmed keyword. And negative 40% damage dealt with other weapons. So it's a drawback to go this high. And it requires strength of 11, which means you're going to have to invest some points into the other shit in the tree. And hopefully it's going to be like, even if they're not all that useful, I mean, you got rooted that's going to be useful. Just, it's going to allow you to kind of play the way you want. Like this one, Iron Fist is you know, you're going melee with big leagues. So I'm actually replacing, I believe Steady Aim is getting replaced with a mobility tree for strength, which will allow you to move a little bit faster. They'll actually be when you're moving, you take less damage. When you're moving, you deal more damage. And when you're standing still, it's basically going to be the opposite of rooted. So just to give you guys an idea how this is shaping up, I'll probably get 3 or 4 more of them done today now that I've got the framework set up. There's some really weird bugs, like you notice I kept the icon this time. There's some really weird bugs that you end up with that just do some crazy crap if you don't watch what you're modifying, because you're trying to change base records. And basically this will not work with any perk modification systems. It kind of will, but it has to be loaded last. If it's loaded before, they'll screw them up. Yeah, I'm just trying to make things more consequential, you know, draw the game out a little bit. It'll be better for survival mode. I don't know. I'm going to do the same thing that I did with strength to all the other ones in the front end. Basically, I'm just going down the line and I'm figuring out what I'm doing as I do each tree. And if I need to go back and change some things, go back and forth. Certain things are going to crossover requirement too. Iron Fist doesn't have it in here because Iron Fist should basically just be strength in my opinion. Big Leagues is going to require endurance when you get up to, I think, rank 5. It's not a heavy amount of endurance, but it's like 4 or 5 base stat. Armor for the last one actually has a heavy endurance requirement because you're going to be crafting. Same thing with Blacksmith. It'll be like 6. The same thing with Heavy Gunner. Heavy Gunner should really acquire an endurance and an intellect check, in my opinion, because it accounts for lasers and other things. It's a low intellect check, medium endurance check. And Pain Train is actually going to have an intelligence check because you're using power armor, and endurance maybe, but a low endurance, higher intellect check. So crap like that. I mean, think about it that way. Like the Locksmith as well. I'm going to make Locksmith require perception and probably half whatever the perception is out of intellect, just because. It just makes sense. Same thing when you guys saw me doing not Black Widow. What was I thinking? I don't know. I'm tired. But yeah, there's going to be certain things that I think should require one side or the other. I'm kind of winging it for some shit, obviously. And see, I'm thinking of moving this one. See, that's the interesting thing. I'm debating what to do because when I move the agility tree, the stupid, basically I'll end up moving that over here, and it will require agility and strength. And then that frees me up a tree over here to turn into something else. So it's going to be kind of a work in progress. There might be some gaps in it while I'm getting it worked out. Working down one entire tree at a time when I'm doing crossovers is not the best way, but it's pretty much the only way unless I draw an entire 70 map on this thing, which could be a little bit obnoxious. I don't know. Seen ones like this where you got Action Girl that freaking have 2 things. Like, I could actually have some fun with it. I'm going to add 4 or 5 more things into this, do some crazy shit. There's ones that I'm going to leave completely alone. Like, Idiot Savin is definitely one. Strong back is probably another one. It's actually fine in my opinion. Basher, just because I don't know what the fuck I'd change with that. Basher, hacker. I might actually add in points into hacker and the other one, like locksmith. Like I might actually in between. I might add a extra one in and make locksmith. The bobby pins never break. I might make that rank 5, and rank 4 might give you agility. Because you have nimble fingers, your agility goes up. And same thing with science. It's I might actually have science will definitely give you another intellect, and same thing with hacker. Hacker, we'd have one in between 3 and 4, in between 2 and 3 to give you, or in between 1 and 2 actually to give you intellect, because we're dumbing down the intellect on the top end, adding in different bonuses that will increase the crap you do and blah blah blah. So that's TLDR, it's going to be probably a little while before I get this one out. Might need people to test. I'm double and triple checking every perk as I make them, just to make sure we've got no crazy shit going on, because you can do some really crazy shit. Like you could accidentally, like if you don't have that keyword check, and you get double damage with this sucker, and then you get a weapon one with double damage, and I didn't do the keyword check, suddenly your weapon's doing 4 times the damage. It's like, ah! And it can be as simple as missing the parameter on who to run the check on. So, yeah. A lot of people have come up with some good ideas for changing shit around, adding shit. I mean, when I can, I'm just going to modify the entire thing, like all the way through, like I did with Iron Fist, giving it the 6 stars and changing it around. I think the level requirements are pretty good, because I'm kind of aiming for this one on a more survival base. So you're going to be going level 50, level 60, and specializing in crap. And yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the strength. I can't change the name, by the way. Whatever the name is first on these top ones is what it stays the whole time. On these, I can change the name, and I'm thinking about it, because it can go like Iron Fist, and then Mama said knock you out, and it can be like Chris Brown. It could be like Mike Tyson, and it could be like Optimus Prime for the last one. You know what I mean? Whatever. I can just change the names of them, and I might do it just for fun, just because it gotta be fun to have them changed. So I don't know. There you go. There's the TLDR. I did get in contact with Gopher, and he's probably watching this video like, what the fuck is wrong with this kid? Hopefully get in contact with him, talk over some things. He seems to have a better view on the pulse of like this crap and people and what they think than I do, but just going with gaming experience on it overall. Yeah, I don't know. Take it easy. Hasta la vista.